the death card. People freak out when they see this one come out in a spread. Am I gonna die? No, that's not what it means. People are so literal. It means the end of something. Oftentimes it's about a relationship. Could be leaving a job. Sometimes the end of your dreams. You can't take this stuff too seriously. It's just a suggestion, a possibility, a nudge. Maybe helping you avoid something, steer you away from danger, keeping you on a more productive path. My dad gave me this deck. Gave it to me when I was 10 years old. He loved this stuff. Paranormal shit, psychics and mediums, spirits, poltergeists were a favorite of his. He had a subscription to Fate magazine, true reports of the strange and unknown. He loved to visit places where there were reports of sightings, Bigfoot, the Jersey Devil. He would take me with him over a long weekend, and we would drive, taking the back roads. Always the back roads. We visited the Fox Sisters' house, Serpent Mound, Lilydale. When you decide on a spread, the Celtic Cross, for instance, the first card down is the signifier, or the questioner shuffles the cards and picks one card. We all have a card that represents us, one that signifies our qualities. The Emperor, number 4. This card is forceful, intelligent, able to make a wise choice. But it also depends on where that card shows up in the spread. More importantly, if it is reversed. My dad was a professor. He looked the part. Tweed jacket, elbow patches, head in the clouds, always humming to himself. He had a typewriter on a small table next to his bed. He would type away, two-fingered style, bottle of Bud by his elbow. Chariots of the Gods open on the bed next to him. Cigarette burning down to a stub in an ashtray, recording his next flash of inspiration. Dad was a prolific letter writer. He corresponded with several leading people in paranormal studies back in the day. Bill Corliss, the guy who wrote all these scientific journals. There was a guy who called himself X. No kidding, X. He's researching crazy stuff in Canada even now. Ivan T. Sanderson, author of The Abominable Snowman, Legend Come to Life. Oh, I can feel the heft of that book. I would look at it for hours, poring over the pictures, comparing the footprint of a black bear to one made by Bigfoot. We drove to New Jersey to visit Ivan T. Sanderson. There was this really long driveway out to his house. It was a gloomy day, cold and rainy. I remember getting out of the car and Mr. Sanderson's three-legged dog came running up all muddy to greet us. I had never seen a three-legged dog before. Made me feel squeamish. That weird stump, the wildly wagging tail. Holy shit, that dog could run fast. It made absolute sense that Ivan T. had a three-legged dog. We were standing outside with the three-legged dog, and I had to go to the bathroom. I was 12, and I needed to go. I had to go in the house by myself. I walked through a dim room with African masks covering the walls, distorted and eerie, wooden faces with blank eye holes. I was so creeped out. To get to the bathroom, you had to pass through this room. I squeezed my eyes shut when I had to pass through that room again, relieved to see that three-legged dog and my dad. Here I am, my signifier, the Fool, numero 0, zilch. This is me. I am the Fool. The bully next door called me gullible in the 6th grade. I was so clueless. I had to ask my mom what that meant. Gullible. The Fool is open, trusting, ready to begin a journey, packing his bags but oblivious to the pitfalls in front of him. He's not well equipped. He makes too few plans and trusts to fate. Here is where you get into trouble. Piss-poor planning leads to... I would beg Dad to tell me ghost stories. Not those stupid made-up ones you hear at sleepovers. Real ones that were in books and Fate magazine. He was a wonderful storyteller. He would stroke his goatee like thinking, how to begin? Taking a drag on his cig and a long pull on his beer. He knew exactly how to weave a narrative. Once, after a campfire in my neighborhood, Dad told a few of these ghost stories. Afterwards, some kids and I were messing around, playing in the woods near our house. The kids were saying ghosts weren't real. Nobody believed that shit anymore. That was baby stuff. I was yelling at them. It's real. There are ghosts. Poltergeists can crash something on your head if you're not careful. One kid called my dad a crackpot. I was about 16 when I crashed this off-campus party. I had a crush on this cute guy and I was hoping he would show up. I was feeling so cool and grown up. There was drinking and smoking going on. Dad was well known on campus. Everybody knew my dad. But I was playing it cool, didn't say I was his daughter. I just wanted to flirt with this cute guy. This one dude, he started doing an imitation of my dad. He lampooned the way he walked and his hand gestures. Made fun of the camp cot set up next to the filing cabinet in his office. This dude was downing shots, mocking my dad. Crackpot professor. He gets hammered on warm beer, teaches classes drunk, and then has to sleep it off in his office. My face flushed. I thought everyone in the room was looking at me. I was feeling prickles in my eyes. This was the first time I had ever heard people say out loud, my dad was a ridiculous drunk. Yeah, a crackpot, but not a drunk. Cute guy never showed up. The Hermit. Number 9. Yeah. The Hermit. Internal struggle. Introspection. Also moving away from. Separating. The 3-card spread. Past, present, and future. Laid out in a simple row. All you have to do is interpret them. My heart aches for my crazy, alcoholic, sweet dad. He so wanted to find proof that ghosts exist, for UFOs to be real, for an explanation for the randomness of the world, that the 3-card spread could answer all our questions, hoping for a true signifier, one that helps us keep to the path we are meant to travel, that an outside force could keep our molecules from exploding with sadness, that the death card is more than just a card with a skeleton on it.
Demons hide in the shadows backstage. It's haunted, filled with ghosts and creatures, imps and sprites, devils. Of course there are. Just ask anyone who works here. I work here. I work backstage in a half-world of blue light and shadows, whispers and exits and entrances. Time is suspended back here, behind the scenery. I'm a dresser. Now they call us dressers. Wardrobe attendant is an old-fashioned, quaint term, but I like it. It describes what we do. attend. Dressers, wardrobe attendants are pretty much the same everywhere you go. We attend. The tours come and they go. We load and unload every show and put out the necessaries for that tour. I pack and unpack. I hang costumes up, make sure all is in order. Hang and press, fetch and carry, bow and scrape. We're a mixed bunch, us dressers. We're old and young, silly and serious, but we also conform to type, central casting, so to speak. There's the old lady dresser who's been zipping up actors since John Wilkes Booth trod the boards. She goes on endlessly about how we did it in my day. In her day, they did performances by kerosene lantern. There's the skinny, over-processed blonde who smokes like a chimney and laughs her cackly, nicotine-stained laugh, flirting endlessly, on and on about how she dressed this one or that one, how many compliments she got from this award winner or that old hack. Oh, that chunky girl there, Miss Bossy, telling everyone else how to do their job and ignoring her own. Then there are the performers. They play to type too. The serious older actress, she vocalizes at the half hour and meditates on her Zen quote tacked on the makeup mirror. The male dancer, tripping and tapping through the hallways. That creepy old actor chatting up the local hair women. The performers change with every season, but they somehow remain the same. Today, most theater folk don't hold with superstition. All that nonsense about the ghost light, whistling backstage, naming the Scottish play. Some yell it at the top of their lungs, daring the universe to stop the show. The spirits don't care. They are bound by other traditions. Traditions much, much older than a fear of whistling or throwing a hat on a bed. You doubt it. But these ghosts exist. I see them, clinging to the curtains and up in the fly spaces. They are half hidden, but only half if you know where to look. There's a little creature with horns and a gnarly face like a wizened-up old grandma. Almost sweet, except for the horns. She's only a foot or so tall, and fast. Clambers off before you can say George Spelman. They don't shove sandbags on stage. That's just ridiculous. No, they are more insidious. They wreck the atmosphere, your talent, your memory, your ambition. They snuggle in next to your twinging doubts. They move in. They start to complain, stretch, and groan. They are tormenting, scaring, howling, grief-causing devils. There, over there, is an orange demon. Hair the color of the president's. Ugh, a big, drooly oaf. He causes shifts in the floor to make people trip and skid. Very bad for dancers. Causes injuries and strains and swollen ankles. Dancers say, I don't even know how that happened. The old pulled muscle, the wrong note belted out in the midst of the power ballad. Oh, the little devils love to play this up, stirring up mischief, missing your mark, being off key, strange tempos. These all add up to the terror of the missed entrance or the bad performance. Sometimes a devil or sprite will attach themselves to a particular actor and ride off with them on tour, making mischief in other towns like mine across the country, other backstages in Omaha, Charlotte, Tampa. A female principal picked up an imp from our place and carried it with her for the rest of her career. She went from playing leading roles to being in the chorus in a few months. Could not ever get it back together. Crippled with doubt and anxiety, she left the road, the business. Now she's selling real estate in a Minnesota suburb, still plagued with an unnamed twinge of fear. That grumpy old lead actor who just ignored me in the hallway, a flying half-bat, half-creature zooms around his dressing room, banging into the walls, knocks the photo of his far too young wife into a puddle from a coffee cup on his makeup table. Oh, too bad for that. The photo is blurry now. He wonders, is she being faithful to him while he is away on tour? Sometimes the demons come back to this backstage here, like it's where they belong. I like that they're around. They are a convenience for me. Mostly I just minded my own beeswax when the spirits decide to interfere with the show. The spirits backstage are not all malevolent, but some are. You get to know the signs. It's best to avoid the harmful ones. They can be tricky. If you have doubts or lack confidence, they will attach to you with the fierceness of a bloodletting leech. Some weeks go badly with missed cues and phoned-in performances. The dressers are blamed, or the temperature of the dressing rooms, or the two-bit town or the dull audience. That's not the issue. The ghosts like to cause a ruckus. I attend to the hanging of costumes and the soothing of egos. If the actors are kind to me, appreciate the attending and attention, I'll do my best to keep the nasties from climbing into their makeup cases. If they are snotty, short, and scornful, I might leave the wardrobe hamper open. I'm not against a little encouragement in the spiteful direction. I watch an ugly imp wriggle in between a jar of foundation and a box of bobby pins. I close the makeup case and lock it.